Yo, Babylon, yo, RS. Watch your numbers, yo. At the MP and Gizmo, 876.
How would you define mental health?
I think mental health has to do with how our minds operate in every single way, like emotionally. I don't know, but I just know that it's something to do with your mind and if it's healthy or not, if it's good or bad, you know?
Mental health for me is how well or how bad you are mentally. I know you should use that word. It all has to do with psychology and how you operate, how you feel, and how this affects your emotions.
Mental health is someone's psychological and emotional well-being.
I don't think there's like one defined thing to say that is mental health, but I think mental health has to do with like how the brain works, how a person thinks, and how they can manage themselves in certain situations and surroundings.
Since recently there has been an increase in people self-diagnosing their issues. What's your take on that?
Split. I mean, some persons will use it as an excuse to say, oh, this is how I am, deal with it. I mean, I don't really necessarily agree that you have some. You can, sometimes you can tell what's going on with you, but not all the time. Sometimes you can be the person not know. Yeah, I don't really think there's some persons who out there who play on it, but yeah, I think it's best if you go to a therapist that then diagnose it.
I don't think you should self-diagnose. I mean, sometimes your self-diagnosis is not too far from a therapist's diagnosis, because I've self-diagnosed and I've been diagnosed by a therapist before, and there weren't that much difference. She couldn't tell me anything new that I didn't already know.
People self-diagnose a lot, not only just mental illness. If me hurt them, they must say, oh, may have this, may have arthritis or stuff like that. So all of these things might not be true. So yeah, it could be true that they are mentally ill, but just because you feel depressed doesn't mean that you're bipolar or stuff like that. So if you think that you're having symptoms, you should go check it out.
I don't think they should self-diagnose themselves, because the thing is, the moment you start self-diagnosing yourself, that's the moment you somehow think that you really do have it. So you're seeing qualities or features or symptoms rather that you have it. So for instance, if you say I'm pregnant, you start seeing symptoms or feeling symptoms like you are actually pregnant when you're not. So in the case of being mentally ill, depression, you might feel like you think you're depressed. However, it's just a temporary thing. We all have temporary depression, but it's not a long-term thing. So don't.
Self-diagnosing or diagnosis can lead to misdiagnosing a particular problem. So while symptoms might be similar to what you may experience, it can lead to like long-term disadvantages if you don't seek the necessary help. However, I think that some issues are like really common that you can say, yeah, that is definitely what's going on.
Have you had any first-hand experience with mental health?
As in personally, of course, we're university students, so all of us probably go through depression sometime during our 4 years here, especially at UTech. There's a lot of things that can cause struggles. Personally, yes, I've been through a whole lot. Recently, I had death of a friend. Kind of plunged into depression, but in society, I can't really show it as a man. So I'm struggling with that.
I suffer from cognitive therapist, bipolar depression, anxiety, and anger issues.
Well, I've had anxiety attacks, but nothing out of the norm to say that I'm mentally ill.
Well, I suffer from anxiety issues. I wouldn't say it's severe. I'm not sure if it's severe. Anyways, I would have anxiety attacks until I pass out for a while, and then it's not back to reality. I've heard of, or I've gotten prescriptions and so forth, but however, if I take them, I can suffer from other issues. So I rather just deal with it on my own. So whenever I feel like it's coming down, I just start counting and start breathing. I just try to keep one pace and start counting until my heartbeat just back to normal.
I have with friends, family, and myself. Experiences from family, of course, has to do with things that happen, like tragic incidences that happen with them. And for me, has a lot to do with like suppressed emotions that I don't deal with instantly. So when I bottle up things, sometimes like all of them just tumbling down, and of course like other persons can lead to some panic attacks or anxiety attacks.
Alright, so do you think enough is being done to help bring awareness?
No, not in schools, not in society especially. In Jamaica especially, we tend to overlook it. It's almost like no one wants to speak about it. Nobody really understands how somebody that suffers from a mental illness feels, or they don't understand what the symptoms are to look for, or they don't they especially if you come from on the outside of home that looks like it's happy, they make it seem as if you have no right to feel a way that you might feel, or to experience something that you might experience. But there are different forms of mental illness.
No, because as I said, in society, in Jamaican society, they don't really, I wouldn't even say as a man, but in general, mental health isn't really discussed as something important. And I think that is where we're having a downfall as a nation. We see so many mad people on the streets, and you wonder how them end up here and why nobody not, picking them up and helping them. It's because they don't really like to acknowledge mental health. I think it's taboo or something like that, which is strange.
Much more could be done, especially, them say, what them say, train a child from them young, so when they're old, them would know it. So maybe they can start educating children from like primary school to say, this is a possibility, especially when you're going into the high school scenario, more subjects, more things to deal with, puberty and stuff. It's a lot to handle, especially if you are mentally ill. So maybe if they started educating primary school children about mental illness and how they can be helped would be good.
No, I don't, because the thing is, people are avoiding the fact that just because they're not seeing it, it's there. It's a lot of persons have it, and the Jamaicans avoid the fact that because it's there and they're not seeing it. I'm repeating myself somewhere along the line here, but because they're not seeing it, it's not relevant. But as someone said previously, a lot of mad people around walking in clothes, normal clothes just like you and I, and they are just walking and thinking that they're okay when they're not. So a lot of things need being done are to cater for that aspect.
Not necessarily. However, I do see things happening now that probably a month or two ago. For example, like in halfway through now, I know that there is either a campaign or something is going on now to raise some awareness about it. So like people go up, sign whatever, get pamphlets. I've never done it, but yeah, that is something that's currently happening.
So what do you think can be done to help bring awareness to mental health issues?
I mean, first there has to be a dialogue. There are people that suffer from it who are willing to explain to people, so that other people can get aware. Because sometimes when a medical professional speaks to you, it doesn't come off the same as somebody that's experienced it beforehand. Like I've spoken to other people that experience, for example, anxiety, to help me deal with my anxiety. Because when I speak to my therapist, sometimes I think the things she tells me on how to deal with it is just foolishness, and I can already tell that it won't help. But I had an experience once where I was having an anxiety issue, and somebody else that was working where I was working, she also has anxiety. She also has anxiety, and it was tips from her on how she handles hers that helped me handle mine, basically. So I think that discussion needs to happen first, and it has to come from the people that are suffering from it, so that other people can understand where we're really coming from.
You know, people our generation can start a movement and allow persons who have the power to help to actually realize something really needs to be done. So if we as young people can come together, we already recognize the issue, we can try bring to the attention of those people through social media. So yeah.
Well, social media is a very powerful tool. Print media, things that grabs the audience's attention so that we will be interested in getting to know more about and seeing if we are really what we have self-diagnosed. Definitely information. I remember again another time that I was in the doctor's office, not for necessarily mental health issues, but I saw posters all around there talking about symptoms of mental illnesses. So I could recognize some of them in me and also people around me. So that kind of sensitized me somewhat to be more alert for certain symptoms that me or somebody else could have. So that's a way of informing.
A lot of time persons don't want to talk about it. It's something that not everyone wants to talk about because simple things, Jamaicans don't take everything for serious. So they'll like laugh up and say, oh, you're mad, So a lot of persons really don't want to talk about it, but it's something to be talked about. And I think it's best if they have like a campaign, like We Can Talk, or some sort of campaign that everybody would want to, or persons who suffer with this case, they'd actually want to go out and talk. But in a subliminal way, don't make it so obvious, okay, you want to talk about your issues. Let it be in a fun and interactive way that, okay, they'll eventually start opening up.